This video is supposed to be the actual use cases of occult practices in daily life, right? And what these practices do for the people who use them. Rituals allow the user to access and configure the subconscious mind, communing with archetypal forces and allowing primitive parts of the brain room into the conscious mind. So, what does this mean? It means that, as well as binding communities together through symbolic acts that allow us the spirit of the community. Um, you can do things like ritualized healing and um, banishment of evil spirits, which is kind of like the spirit, the shadow that forms in a group and such, is what tribal people would use rituals for, as well other things like preparing warriors for war. Like they would do war dances to get you into the state of mind as you're going into war. You got to fight to survive, right? You are being a warrior now. So whenever you're accessing the subconscious mind, you are accessing the deeper mind beyond the um, neocortex is the conscious mind, and as well as other parts, but generally it's the neocortex, and there are reptilian and mammalian brains beneath this, and we can access them through this. And the archetypes, we can access archetypal knowledge, which is like wisdom ingrained into existence through their collective personalities. Even our language is like archetypal because it already has ingrained thoughts into it that has evolved over time. All right, so I'm going to move on now. So altars, which is like what I have here. I have this skull here, which is about mortality and the underworld. Then I have this, which my Buddha head broke, which is supposed to be the higher part. Then this is supposed to be representative of the king. This is the ego self access. Um, we have things from the warrior, the magician, the lover, all built on the pillars of wisdom, which is what the elephants symbolize. And this is a physical, symbolic, um, not only reminder, but a place to access the subconscious mind and the deeper parts and access creativity and forces in your mind, in the collective mind. And these thought forms serve to build in place of your own mind. So this is kind of like a background mind that exists that you can access, and it can kind of build itself into something. So this might allow you to inoculate yourself with ideas. Let's say if you have like a mushroom tub and you got to inoculate the, let's say, an idea, right? And it has to grow. It can grow through your altar. Amulets are like altars. They're physical reminders. Like this is a reminder of mortality, of the spirit, um, of masculinity and of femininity. Um, what occult practices could potentially do, right? If you were to believe the more exaggerated claims of occult practices, they may use quantum mechanics and using intention in quantum mechanics to alter parts of what is going to happen, like the alter the future, right? So bear with me here. Everything is in superposition. I am in superposition. Everything is in superposition. Okay? And there's quantum entanglement which exists, which means that atoms are linked intrinsically from distances, right, down to the quarks or however that may work. So, or it may use other fields of some kind, which is like electromagnetic fields. That is currently a theory I have on for telepathy and like near-death experiences. I'll give an example is like lightning strikes being able to influence psychiatric patients. Yeah, they actually have brain activity, so it shows that it can be stimulated from far away, as well as remote viewing instances which have been proven experimentally. Um, this can achieve things such as divine insight if you're having telepathic communication, let's say with a deity, if that is what you are choosing to work through. You are not only embodying the archetype of itself, but if you are to receive divine insight, you are learning things you shouldn't know from the outside world from within. So you're getting intuition internally of events externally. I'll give you an example. Before we had a fire here, I kept drawing fires, and that would be anecdotal um, thing or synchronistic events. So if you were to um, find something that correlates internally, externally correlates to internal states and provides some meaningful coincidence to you, and that could be potentially a practice. The occult practices could be used to invoke. That is up for debate and research. I believe there is some credibility to that, but there is the video.